I was walking down Castle Street. I saw a crowd of strange faces, and they said to me, "Where can I see the famous county aces?" So I said to them, "Come follow me. We'll take you down to Edgerley, and there for all the world to see are the glorious."
To put it in the way, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong.
It's against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
Oh! And trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, yeah!
Not got it clear. Please, sir! It's a cracker!
Running Armstrong, played in the game, and a superb goal!
Tony did it! Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
It's going to be a very long time before that video gets old, isn't it? It's going to be a very, very long time. Good evening and welcome to the Scarf Bagara War with me, Russ Johnson. I'm delighted again to be joined as ever by Waggy. You all right, mate?
All right, yeah, very good. Cheers, yourself.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. And we got regular on the podcast now, Brockers. You all right, mate?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good. We are part of the TalkSport Fan Network. We've been established since January 2015, and we are also charity partners with Mentel. So get all that into your head. If you're new here, please do think about subscribing. That'd be really, really good. And we'll mention things as we go along. Tonight on the show, we're going to talk about Sam Hughes. We're going to talk about Fiorini, 2 new signings. We're going to have a bit of a squad update. We've got a bit of a graphic to show you that at least I'm very excited about. I don't know about other people, but then I'm a geek and I like graphics and shit like that. So there we go. And we'll also talk about the friendly coming up against Chester, and then other bits and bats and stuff that we've got going on. So without further ado, shall we get straight into it and talk about the new signings? Let me just play a transition and then we'll get cracking.
Running Armstrong, played in the game, and a superb goal! And it's Connery who scored it!
Right then. Sam Hughes. What do we know about Sam Hughes? Anything before I start? He's a big. Is that your contribution? He's what? He's a big hairy one. Aerial presence.
Aerial
a big hairy.
He doesn't look that hairy. No. That's rich coming from me and Waggy anyway, isn't it? But you know,
yeah, that's not hard, though, is it?
So I'll tell you what. I'll start with some bits from.
Give us some stats.
Some stats from our friends. I'll stat you up. So Sam Hughes, formerly of Burton Albion, he's 27 years old. He's right-footed, preferably. He does play centre back. He spent the last 4 years actually at Burton Albion, where he's done okay. He played 15 games in his first season, 21 in the second, 49 in his third season, and then last season only 32 games. So not sure if that was an injury hit, but the season before he had a pretty good season, not 49.
He got player of the season, didn't he, for that 22-23 season?
I think he did, yeah. So he comes with some decent pedigree, and I think in that last season as well, 23-24, they were obviously struggling. They finished one place above the relegation zone, I think, didn't they? So last season he played. Well, you can see he played 32 games, collected 4 yellow cards, no red, and he started 28 of those. So not bad. Yeah. And aerial duels won a whopping 98%.
Wow.
There's that hairy presence.
There's that hairy presence. Yes.
He fits the new profile, doesn't he? I mean, he's 27. He's probably one of the older signings that we've brought in. But he has got that,
isn't he?
Yeah. I think, yeah. And as you say, yeah, he's got good League One experience, hasn't he? So he was at Leicester previously, wasn't he? He's had loan spells at Salford. He was on loan the first season, wasn't he, at Burton, and they bought him.
He played in the Championship as well. Burton were up in the Champ, weren't they? Seasons back.
Not sure. No, it's not saying any Championship. It's only got League One appearances.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
still good pedigree. And let's be honest, probably coming in not as the automatic first choice for any of the centre-back positions, even if we played three at the back. So he's the new Neil Byrne, isn't he? He's the
Neil Byrne 3.0.
Yeah, when we're playing a team that lumps it a bit, like Charlie used to chuck Byrne in for Sutton, and there were the other teams who lumped it a bit. There was a few on that Byrne used to suddenly get the call up for, and touch wood, if we were to lose Fraser for any period of time, yeah, he's that replacement down the middle.
That's interesting you say that. We'll come to that when we get onto the squad planner, because do you not think he's there to be a starter in the back line?
I think we're playing four at the back. I think we're playing high and Horsfall.
Yeah, I agree. I think we start with the four.
Torres for right out.
Yeah, I don't think it's a starter if we start with a four at the back, but I think if we go with a five at the back or a three at the back, I think he'll definitely come in for those.
Depends if it's three at the back. Three at the back against somebody who they think is a physical team. If it's three at the back because that's how he's chose to line up, that's where I think Mingy suddenly becomes the right centre back, or arguably a bit like we used to use players, Noyle and like, and previously Akil-Wright, starting one way but have the ability to change it without having to make a sub kind of thing. So that's yeah. But I do genuinely think he's probably there for that expected aerial bombardment game, cover. Bear in mind we lost guys for the best part of 2 months last season. Obviously previous season lost Fraser for a good while, so you need that cover.
Yeah, you do. I honestly thought, and maybe I'm wrong, that he was a not a marquee signing, but better than what we've got. So bring him in, and he goes straight into the defence. But I take your point.
Pyros, come on.
Well, it depends if we're playing five at the back or three at the back, whatever you want to call it. But then when I look at the team players we've got, Mingy could play there, couldn't he? Akil-Wright, if Akil-Wright's going to be here much longer, again, we can talk about, because this graphic brings up loads of questions, doesn't it? When you start to look at it. So let's sort of brace ourselves for that, I guess. So that's Hughes. Again, it's difficult to talk about these players because we've never seen him play. What I will say about Hughes is he came through Leicester's academy, didn't he? So of a good pedigree.
He's a 3.0 Neil Byrne, as Waggy said. So that's and I'm absolutely fine if I'm totally wrong and he's a shoe-in straight from the start, and I might have misread it and so on. But Burton was struggling down near the bottom. They've been a perennial struggler. So it's a good signing, that. Good solid signing.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's Sam Hughes. Fiorini. How excited are you for this one before I get the stats out?
Well,
quietly excited about this one. Yeah.
Yeah, again, without seeing him play, but you go onto transfer market and they value him at 1.3 million. And I know we've not paid anywhere near that. I know there was rumours that we paid close to $1 million for him, but it was Sam Burns said it's between 200,000 and 300,000, isn't it? But there is add-ons with it, but it's still not getting anywhere near $1 million. But it's still, he's an exciting young forward, isn't he? And he's come through. He's played a bit abroad as well, hasn't he? So I think that's good experience and stuff for a young player to go out playing abroad.
Played in Holland, didn't he? In is it Braid, NEC Braid, or I think it was.
Yeah. So
played
and
top level and not shabby.
Yeah, been at City since 6 years old, and I think they said again we were after him in January, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what came out of the interview.
Yeah, for everyone.
I think we were, yeah.
Like everyone we've signed, we were after in January.
yeah. Everyone we've been linked with. So there's a few things to come out of this then. So let me just go through some of the sort of the stats and the facts, if you like. And there's a couple of questions out of this as well. So he's 22 years old, right-footed. He's Scottish, although he's probably the most Manx Scottish person I've ever heard. But yeah, Fiorini. I mean, that lends itself to being Scottish, doesn't it? Because there is a lot of Italians in Scotland. Now here's the kicker, right? So he's Charlton, Blackpool, and Lincoln in his previous clubs. I think all on loan because he's obviously come from City. NAC Breda. I don't think it was the Eredivisie. I think it was the Eerste Divisie. That's what I'm seeing on my screen, which is the second tier. And I think, judging what he said, they just missed out on promotion, or I read that somewhere. So he was in a forward-thinking team, shall we say? Which is good. And here's the question, right? He comes in. His primary position is defensive midfielder.
Is it?
What do you think of that?
Is it?
I thought it was a bit more forward, further forward than that. I think Dave Chandler said he's a centre mid, but more like he'll score and assist a lot more goals. That's the way that Chandler said. I don't know if anybody listened. He was on Radio Manchester between 6 and 7. They had an interview with him, so I listened to some of it, and he went through most of the signings, and he said that Fiorini will. He's more of a central midfielder, but he will get a lot of assists and score goals. He's definitely somebody that can score goals. So
I'm going to say because he bagged quite well for Blackpool and Lincoln, didn't he? I guess the Dutch team. He didn't do so well at Charlton, did he? But certainly was well thought of at Blackpool and Lincoln, from what I've read.
Yeah. So his stats are,
didn't he?
His stats at NAC Breda are 6 in 36 goals. Lincoln City 6 in 44. Blackpool 1 in 14. Charlton, it doesn't look like it was a great spell. Only 5 games anyway, 0 goals. But it's just interesting. It's interesting how Fotmob has him down as a defensive midfielder. I don't know where they get that from, by the way. I don't know if it's average position on the pitch or what. Maybe we should stop using Fotmob. That's what I'm starting to think.
Let me see. When's Fiorini? Yeah, transfer market just says he's a central midfielder.
Yeah. So some of the comments are coming in. So we've all listened to the interview, haven't we? He said he prides himself on goals and assists. Yeah. So I would say he's forward, definitely forward thinking. And Chris Crowther says he's a number 10, which when we get to the squad graphic, we agree with that. So it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult.
I was seeing him as the sort of SARS replacement kind of area, which would tie in, wouldn't it, with all those opinions?
Yes. Yeah.
But it's 21.
Why I had
21. How old did you say it was? It was 22.
22.
22.
Yeah, he's 20.
That's good experience. Yeah. 22, and he's had full season in Holland, full season at Lincoln in League One. Blackpool would have been.
Yeah, he played 15 times in the Championship, didn't he, for them? So, yeah.
That's some pedigree.
Yeah.
And, the places come from down the road, they're not renowned to be too crap, are they? So, one a few pots.
Yeah, they're all right, aren't they? They're all right.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if everyone's okay with the t-shirt I've got on. It's a bit light. For the audio listeners, I'm wearing a light Fred Perry top, light blue Fred Perry top. Light. It's not nowhere near City blue.
No, it's definitely nowhere near City.
Never.
If anyone wants one of the ones with the new colour, they're doing them very cheap on M&M Direct without the badge on, so you can just find your own and stick it on a notice today. About 17. They're obviously the wrong shade of blue.
Okay, right. So that's Hughes and Fiorini. I don't know about you, but just before we get onto the whole squad sort of look and where we think players are going to play and where we think we've got gaps, this feels like a bit of an overhaul, doesn't it? But not like a Neil. What was he called? Neil Taylor. What was that old manager called? I just got a load of scousers. Neil Young. That's it.
Neil Young.
Yeah, Neil Young, or any overhaul that we've had in the past like that. This feels a bit more proper, doesn't it, and a bit more controlled. Would you go along with that, Brockers?
Yeah, and also it's what we were told was going to happen. Yeah, when Sam Wilson did his interview, which was clearly earlier than it was released, it was stated. Stott had said it as well. We're going for the younger profile. We've absolutely delivered on that. You look at where others are signing players and the profiles of them, and they might give them a little bit more immediate return, but I'm feeling a sort of a 94-5, 95-6 vibe about this one. It's like got a year or so to bubble under, and then we're really going for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the draw at Goodison season or the one before kind of season, ready for. We all know what followed next, don't we? It's the kind of preparing for. So I think this is a free hit season, and I'm loving the idea of a free hit season with the players that they clearly pulling in. I think we might take a few good whackings occasionally, by the way, but I'm ready to be off my seat in upper tier 3.
Yeah, I think the more that these signings are announced, the more excited I'm getting. The less I'm thinking of. Dave Chandler again. He said people are saying that this is a season of consolidation, but to him, consolidation is staying where you are, not progressing, and he doesn't want to do that. He's saying if we can be up there and in and around, and sort of similar to what you've just said, Brockers, is that. Yeah, maybe we're going to get some hidings. Maybe we'll, hand some out. But it's if we don't get promoted this year, then you talk to me at the beginning of next season, and we will be 40% closer to being promoted with the team that we have.
Yeah.
So he's still looking forward. But I think every time that any of these signings come in, the profile of the signings and, as you say, the quality that we seem to be bringing in, it just gets me that little bit more. Me expectation level just rises that little bit more, and thinking I'm not going to be happy with finishing 10th. I think we need to be pushing for playoffs and that type of stuff. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as to say we're going to win it, but I think it's just that expectation level is just raising that little bit more than from what it was finishing the end of last season, and the players that have gone, that have left the club, but the players that we're bringing in, they all seem exciting. And they all seem to be, as we said, players that we can develop. And if they outgrow the club, then we can make a profit on them, or they stay with us for the journey.
Yeah, they're all coming on 3-year deals. Some on 3 years with an extra year. There's only, I think, is it Connolly that's a 2-year deal, and then the more development signings, which I think are 1-year deals. So all the others are 3-year deals, Mingy, February, Fiorini, etc., all 3 years, which says, yeah, this is kind of the season to get ready, and then then we're going. Yeah, so it kind of had to happen. I think I was talking to a mate a weekend about it and saying that as much as I'd have loved to have seen some of the guys who got us here have another year and so on, it would have felt like we were kind of doing it and half a job, a mishmash kind of let's see what the ones who got us up here can do, and then we'll bring a few others in. And this has always been a strategy. Let's trust the process, as they like to say, and set it all up for a big one.
Yeah,
eventually, but maybe
it's
not
exciting,
straight away.
isn't it? Yeah,
Really.
it's exciting, and when you couple that with the ground plans, the plans for Edgeley Park and the training ground, we're obviously there's no plans for that yet, but we know that where we are now, which is a championship quality training ground, that's not our final place. We're going to have one in the borough, and also our academy, which is our academy Cat 3 or Cat 2 now?
Cat 3. I think we said we missed out on Cat 2 because we've not got our Vita Dome, have we?
Right. Yeah.
I think that's what they said.
Right. So we've got a Cat 3 academy. All those things pulled together. It's just, I say it every week, and I'm getting bored of myself saying it, but it's so exciting, isn't it?
And there's nothing wrong with a Cat 3 academy. A lot of academies, there's hardly any Cat 2s. They're all really mainly Cat 1s, the big ones, and then Cat 3s, with Cat 2 being that sort of transition step in between. That you actually struggle to name too many that fall into. There's certainly not many around here. Most of the ones in the Northwest are either 1s or 3s. So it is almost seen as a transition step, either on the way up or the way down. Burnley went up with theirs. Bolton have come down. Theirs was Cat 2, they're now Cat 3. Burnley have gone from 2 to 1 in recent years, for example. So they clearly have a Burnley balloon or whatever, a bubble. We need a Vita Dome, and we're there.
I think as well is that they've changed it. The academy players are now playing or training at Carrington with the first team, so I think that's makes a massive difference to the academy players as well. They can see what the first team looks like and see how they're playing and stuff. And then, as you say, it's if they want to do 11 versus 11 and they're short of a left back, like Dave Conlon mentioned when we interviewed him back in the last season, is that they'll grab one of the academy players and go, right, you come in and you play in here, and he's playing in with the first team. So I think that's massive, brilliant experience for them, which should only help develop them. So everywhere you look, you say don't want to get too over the top with it, but everything is just exciting, isn't it?
Let's get excited about things that you're allowed to get excited about. That they are new signings that are the right mould, they're the right profile, they're what were promised. The academy is what was promised. They're delivering on promises.
And getting them in early. I think that's a massive thing. We signed 9 new players, and officially it's only been open a couple of weeks, hasn't it? The transfer window. So getting the business done early so we can get them in the building and get them on a full pre-season. Hopefully, that'll stand us in good stead, and we won't have a normal Stockport County start. We'll have a proper Stockport County start and actually win some games.
A non-Stockport County start.
Non-Stockport County start.
As well as new signings, Will Collar, Ryan Rydell, Jack Stretton.
Yeah.
People are already writing off Stretton, and you're thinking, well, hang on, last time he virtually kicked a ball, he headed an equaliser against Salford in the playoffs. That was one of his last. All right, he played at Wembley as well. Didn't do bad at Wembley, to be fair. But he's been out for a season. He was an incredible signing when we picked him up. Pedigree, he's played at the level we're going to and things like that. Rydell, he's a assist machine. And so, that's like 3 new signings. Collar, somehow Collar played 20 games last season, but it felt like 3.
I don't remember him playing 20 games. Yeah,
but apparently he did. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. We do have a comment from the local pundit. You've had a couple of good signings. What I will say to that is, I think that's the enemy infiltrating our podcast here, boys. I'd say Shemai, but they probably don't speak Welsh. They're in the USA.
The local pundit. You've had a couple
of good signings.
Who's the couple of good signings?
Yeah, which ones? I'd like to know which ones you think are the 2 that are good. Because, I mean, if you think only 2 of them are good, then you're probably in the wrong sport. Okay.
Yeah, we kick the ball, not throw it.
Right. Shall we get on to squad planning?
You want to get your graphic out?
I just want to get my graphic out.
You just want to get your graphic out.
I'm going to get my graphic out for the lads. How about that? And for anybody that's watching, you don't have to be a lad. It's all inclusive. So what we've got is we've done, thanks to Waggy actually pulling this together. I've just basically spruced it up. We've got a graphic that we can show you. Now, if you are the audio listeners, we'll try and explain as much of it as we can.
We will post it on socials afterwards for you to have a look.
Yeah, we'll definitely post it on socials afterwards for you to have a look. Let me just get rid of that so you can see Brock is still a bit more. So this is the full squad that we think is there for next season. Now, obviously, we've not finished with our signings as well. Bit of a caveat or point of reference. This is just where we think they will play in their primary positions. Some of these players, I mean, all of them probably, when you think about it, which is another string to our bow, can play in different positions. So don't take this as, well, Stratton's not a left wide attacker. Well, he can play there, and he'll probably get played in other places as well. So,
and to give a bit of context around this is from Simon Wilson doing a training seminar about 3 years ago, I think it was. And he didn't realize that they were going to actually publish all this. So what he did was he had this squad planner. So these, I think it's 20 positions. Basically, he came up with that if you have a player that can play in each of these 20 positions, then you have a squad that is capable of playing any formation, any tactics, any sort of any way that you want to play. So we did it last year. Obviously, it wasn't as fancy the graphic last year. So we've took out the players that have left, and we've brought our new players in. And the numbers next to them is basically their age. So we can see that we've changed a lot. So we mentioned Fiorini as the attacking midfielder. He's only 22. He replaces pretty much, as we said, Sars, who was 30 odd. So look at that. The only one that we think is missing is the penetrator. Now, obviously, last season that was a certain Mr. Barry. Yeah. And hopefully, and again, while we're talking about Mr. Barry, Dave was asked that question on BBC Radio Manchester, and he replied saying that we are obviously very interested in having him back. They're pretty sure that Barry is interested in coming back, but because he is with Aston Villa and they're a Premier League club, is that with a lot of their squad being away at the Euros and Copa America and all that type of thing, is that none of their players will be going out on loan or being sold or anything, even the periphery players, because they still need them for pre-season. So he said that the minimum that any news will be around Barry will be at least a month away, if not 6 weeks, depending on when Aston Villa come back. And also, obviously, that depends on whether he gets any offers from Championship clubs or anything like that. So for us, looking at this is where we think the players will play. We think this is their primary position, even though they will play in different places. And it looks like, we're just missing one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. So let's tell you what. Let's zoom in on it and take each unit, if you like, or I say unit, sort of area of the pitch, if you like, as one. Because again, we spoke when we talked about Hughes and Fiorini, and we could talk about the other new boys as well, and the existing lads as well. it just feels like let's just zoom in. There we go. So look at this, guys. This is cool, isn't it? So so
the IT
we've got
the
circles. If you hadn't guessed already, these are the ages of the players.
Yep.
So you've got Hinchliffe, obviously 35, Addai 26, Metcalf 21. Someone's just said, why isn't Addai down as a target man? Well, as I said before, he could be. We don't know. It could be David James incarnation. You never know, do you? You know. Metcalf's 21.
Strangely, I when we was doing this, we was talking about players having to be registered. There was where the post that I looked at, it said that obviously it's goalkeepers are exempt from being registered. They don't need to be registered. And anybody 21 years or younger. But they said that if you do register somebody as a goalkeeper, they have to play goalkeeper, because if you actually play them play them outside, it's a breach of the rules and you will get fined for it. So
that's interesting, isn't it?
That's interesting. Yeah. So we can't play him. We can't play him as a target man.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm loving the research swags. Loving that.
No, it was just we was having a discussion about how many players, how big our squad is. So on this, we've got 24 players, but 3 of those are keepers, and there's 3 of them that are 21 or under. So in essence, our squad is only 18 players. Sorry, 18 players. So we've still got scope to potentially sign another 4 players.
Yeah.
And you're missing
that's not with any going out.
You're missing a couple of the young midfielders there, aren't you?
Yes. So yeah, but again, they're under 21. So Mann, Johnson, Ashton, me. They're all under 21, so they won't be included as part of the registered squad.
Yeah. Someone's just pointed out that Hinchliffe is 36.
Oh,
so
okay.
I mean, we're going to get some of this wrong. So I've just put a little thing at the bottom here. You can't see it because my bloody thing's in the way. But it says player ages are according to transfer mark. So yeah, we'll look that up and we'll get this updated. But the point of it is, if you look at basically what we were saying earlier about Hughes, you see, I'm putting straight into centre back because that's what we thought. But you have got Wright and Mingy there, so it does depend whether we play a 3 at the back or a 4 at the back.
Yeah.
Pye as well, and then you've got Torre, who both can slip into that left-sided centre defence place.
Yeah.
Torre can do a job left wing back, as can Rydell, as we know. Bailey's probably played there in the past, has he? On 1 or 2 occasions, maybe for a few minutes, perhaps.
Yeah.
Pye's played there and obviously played left back as well for Gateshead. He's certainly played as a high left back. A left back playing high up. So I'm not saying you would choose to play him as left wing back, but it's another option. So
yeah. Is there anything that sticks out there for you, Brockers? Because I've got Bate as central defensive midfielder and Fiorini as central attacking midfielder. Would you agree with that, or is there anything else that sticks out?
That's what I was working to. That was the ideas. I'd see Camps possibly as another CDM option, obviously, because that's where he played a lot of last season.
Yeah.
And Powell possibly comes into those positions as well. Obviously, we'll come to where he's situated on the graphic. I'm in agreement with Nick 10. I don't really want to see Ibi Torre as a left centre-back ever again, really. But if needs must, possibly in a 3. Yeah. The one I would always support him on, when we were away at Morecambe, and Challenger decided, right, we've got all of the ball, and we're now asking Horswall and Pye to put crosses in because they're the only 2 players left, like on the halfway line. And he decided, no, stuff that. I'm going to put Noyle and Torre on, and we'll play with them 2 as the back 2, and they can put crosses in. And eventually it led to a goal when I think it was Noyle or Torre actually put one in for Woods. So it has worked. Let's not totally rule it out.
Yeah.
And it was a Morecambe fan that actually reminded me of that when I was up there working in Lancaster last week.
I think that would only be, as you say, sort of desperate times, or for a specific, as you said, a specific situation where we're basically just battering somebody, and it's both two decent crosses of the ball. So why not just have them there pinging balls in?
Torre probably was one of our main assisters last season. I don't know if there's any stats on it, but I would say he racked up a fair few, even though he was obviously taking brunt of criticism for a good while. Because when he came back, after that criticism, he bagged at least about 3 or 4 assists in the last few games. Or not the last few, because he was out injured in the last few, but in the running.
Yeah. No, he did, yeah. There's a couple of comments coming in as well. Obviously, Nick Ten's fair comment. Stuart was on last week or week before. Pi will be left centre back. Mingy in front of the back 3/4 with Powell or Campsey. And again, we're kind of saying that's a Mingy versatile right-sided defender, but we also had him down as maybe playing in that central defensive midfielder role as well, as Akil Wright did when he was that type. And that's why we've bunched him in with the versatile right defender. Yeah. The
clips I saw when we signed Mingy all looked like he was an absolute natural for that CDM role, but actually a front-footed CDM role. A little bit like Camps played it at times last season, probably even more kind of ball carrier rather than, it was... he looked a right player. He's actually one of the ones I'm probably most interested to see, because I think he's really got some potential. So yeah.
No, yeah, I'm almost frothing at the mouth with excitement. Honestly, it's so good. The signings we've made are so good. They really are. Onto the forward line then. So obviously Fiorini as a central attacking midfielder. We've got Fevrier right attack, mainly because I know we all know he played right back or right wing back for Colchester last season, but he did say in his interview that he wants to be on the front foot and he wants to be
more forward.
So that's where we've put him. Diamond, we've put him there, but he can play. He said he can play on any 3. He can play all across all of the attack. So that's not him being there. He can play there. He can play left or right attack, I'm guessing. So he'll be an important player for us. Again, Stretton has played left attack, but I guess could probably play in other places as well. And then you can all see the question marks. The penetrator, which is an awful word for a player.
Can you enlighten us, Waggy, based on Simon Wilson's coaching video, what he said about this role?
Basically, it's a player that's going to pick the ball up quite high up the pitch and run at people. And that's why, as I said, last season, basically that was Barry. We had Barry as that. He's definitely sort of a ball carrying forward that's wants to get to the byline or also wants to cut inside. So you don't really know which way he's going to go, but he's certainly going to run with the ball and he's going to terrify players trying to put a foot on him and stuff like that. So, hopefully it will be Barry, but I'm sure
if it wasn't, you can look at that and you say, well, Febrier's been signed with that kind of idea in mind. Diamond's been signed with that idea in mind. So, not quite as much, but Stretts, he's more that kind of elusive forward. Probably more of a back sub, I would have thought, Stretts. Maybe occasionally, I can't see him playing up front on his own like he did at Wembley for half an hour, because that was dreadful.
It's again, as you say, I mean, it's people say that is it 3-5-2 or 4-3-3 is what Challoner generally plays, but we seem to be looking at the players and stuff, possibly looking more at a 4-2-3-1. But going back to when obviously we spoke to Challoner, or you spoke to Challoner, us, after the National League win, and he did say that it's not necessarily about a formation, it's about how we play, like with the ball, without the ball. So, as you said, this is why I think this works really well. Certainly for how Simon Wilson thinks and how Dave Challoner thinks, is that we've got these players. So as we were saying before about Mingy playing in just in front of a back four, and if we need to change it, he slots in, and then we become a back three or a back five. So this looking at the players that we've signed and thinking about all these little things, as you say, these players that can play multiple positions, so we can change. Because I think that's what Dave Challoner did really well last year, was change it about. The season before, a lot of people said we were stuck in our way. This is the way we played. We only had plan A, whereas last season we had plan B, C, D, E, etc. So these players coming in go into that mould a lot more, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, if you think towards the end of the season, Lemonade Evans became very much pivotal to that, in that he would sometimes start games as a wide player in a front three.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he'd play, had a fabulous hour or so at Notts in the win there, didn't he? Basically playing as a right wing back. February probably already is earmarked as that kind of player, but you can almost imagine that. Challenger's a big one for talking about different formation in and out of possession, of course, and so on. So that comes into it. You can imagine if we're away at one of the big guns, then it's probably plays a slightly more retreated role, and home to one of the lesser lights, he's ripping the place apart on the right wing.
Yeah.
Diamond, there. Diamond, of course. Yeah, so it didn't matter where you really think he's got to play. He had to get there.
Couple of questions that are coming in then. So take these one by one. And the second question that I think we'll end this segment on. So Rob McCloy, friend of the podcast. Hi, Rob. If we need a striker, do we take a chance and wait for Louis Barry, who might not come, or should we go for someone else?
I think I'm not sure if they're playing it down and they've got an agreement with Barry or not. None of us are going to know that. But I think they've basically said that all the players that we brought in are all the first choice that we wanted. So I think that they've already lined up. If it's not Barry, I think they've already got somebody lined up. And there's a possibility that if it is a bit hit and miss, whether we get Barry, I think that they've got somebody else that they're going to go for, that they're going to bring in for that position, or as a striker, or get both.
That's basically what you're saying, isn't it? Yeah. So if we get someone earlier, if Barry becomes an option, I think I feel like Stott will probably just go, get him, because he's such an asset, isn't he? I think that's where we are. What about you, Brockers? What do you think? Would you stick or
similar? Yeah, I think similar. I think there's already a plan. Whoever the other person is, we probably tried to sign him in January anyway. So
that's the name of the podcast today. We tried to sign him in January. Brilliant.
I don't know what. I can only see that we want somebody who can play probably off the left. Otherwise, you're looking at, I'd guess, Diamond playing there. I'd guess he's more likely to play off there than probably Stretz, if I'm honest. Unless what starts and Tanto plays a slightly wider role and things like that. So I think he's the one we targeted. We've all heard lots and lots of different rumours. We've all heard of the deals that have apparently been struck. But it's absolutely right that he will spend pre-season with Villa and he'll go on their pre-season tour. And that sometimes changes things. But, as I say, probably somebody we tried to sign in January. Absolutely.
Okay. So last question on this segment then, because time is moving on. Here's somebody. The Boone, I think we should go for Shamanga. Yay!
Tweet that to Sam Byrne. He'll love that.
So Ben says, so this is the last question on this segment. So apart from the penetrator, who do we still need? Okay, I'll change that to what positions do we still need to strengthen in? if you would, and then what is the 3 left, assuming nobody goes out?
Yeah. I genuinely can't see us going for anybody else. I can only see one more in. I mentioned it on his tweet that I think it was replying to one of the podcast ones the other day, but the only other thing I can see is covering anybody going out, which maybe should be the final question. Do we think anybody is going out? I don't, but there is maybe 1 or 2 that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the only one really for me is Wright going out.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
But what else we need? I think it's definitely another striker. We need we need another striker, whether that be like say actually that penetrator role or whether we're waiting for Barry. But I think we definitely need another striker.
Yeah. I said, just don't see anybody else really going. Obviously, there's a few of the younger ones, Cody and Ashley Mee, probably going out on loan, quite rightly so. Can't see anybody else. Macca's apparently not very far away. He may well miss the start of the season, but everyone else is fit and training, apparently. So that means Stretton's back, Rydell's back. Collar's obviously back with a new hairdo as well.
I think it depends if we get decent offers for players. I think somebody's mentioned about obviously Collar and Pie possibility. I think if we get a decent offer for somebody, then that obviously changes things. But I think the only person possibly that might be leaving would be Wright. And the only person that I can sort of see, just because he was sort of in and out of the squad, wasn't he? Really, once we got settled towards the back end of the season, so maybe he might be on the way out. But if he doesn't, then I've got no problem with that. I'm not saying that he's got to leave. I'm just saying that that's the only player I can see that are possibly on the way out, unless we get any big offers.
Yeah,
get decent offers for the other players.
I can't see how he gets in the team. I just don't see. Yeah, Mingy's clearly come in to effectively play both his positions. He wasn't getting a shout anyway, but he's been a good player for us over the last couple of years. And
yeah, absolutely.
If he bags a header at Wembley, we'd be having this chat 12 months ago.
We would, yeah. We would. Okay, cool. Let's move on.
Oh,
whoa, what's that one?
3 going, Waggy, and you're not going to like it. Okay.
Okay. That's not loaded at all, is it?
I did hear strong rumours straight after the season that Powell was going, but it doesn't seem to have materialised and things seem to have settled down again. But that was a strong rumour, and not just based on the fact that he didn't talk to anyone when they were celebrating on the pitch. More, that just might be his character, and I think he's a high achiever, isn't he? So getting from League 2 to League 1 probably wasn't a big thing for him. That's what I took from it.
Listen to his pitch side when he was on the pitch, wasn't he, with John Kieran? John Kieran. He was like, "This is just the beginning of the journey. It's not finished." So I think that is just that. That's his attitude. That's his personality.
Yeah. Okay.
Captain. I like that question. Can we do that quickly?
Yeah.
Which one? Captain. Who's the captain? Well, it might. I think it was. I'll go first. Horsefall, I'm thinking.
Yeah. I'm thinking horse.
I'm thinking horse, but I think we're probably, if we weren't already, I think we've probably gone down the leadership team route. And I would guess Ben's obviously part of that leadership team. I'd guess if he Torrey's part of that leadership team. Woods, Collar would be other ones who would be in that. So probably a bit like we maybe saw officially, unofficially, where Sars, Ben, Crosby, and obviously Paddy shared the armband around whenever Paddy wasn't on the pitch, when he left the pitch and so on. Because it never seemed to be consistent who he gave it to.
No.
So, yeah, I think Horsfall's the obvious one because you just know he's probably going to start every game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we can speculate on this as we get nearer to the season as well, can't we? So it'll be a good one to
see season, won't there? Yeah.
See who takes it at Chester.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, we can all be looking out for it. I've never looked out for who's got the armband at a friendly, but now we're going to, aren't we? Bloody hell.
Yeah, of course we are. Because our captain and vice captain have both just left.
And does Saturday start who's the trialist? I mean, will we get any?
Trialist family will be out in force again.
Started it last night, apparently, didn't they? I don't know if anybody's seen the tweet that went out from Croydon. All 11 plus all 5 subs, a trialist. Proud nice to the trialist family. Boom. Get in
there. Right, we need to move on. Basically, we need to move on. Right, so before we get on to Chester on Saturday, because we're going to cover that, and we've still got training kits, perimeter boards, kit release dates, and friendly tickets to talk about. Just to say, we're kind of pushing Patreon because that's where we want you to join us. So do come over to Patreon and join up. You can join up as a free member, but obviously paid members get the extra things of ad-free content on a Monday at 1:00 when we're in the season. Might even be next Monday as well for friendlies. Who knows? You get all that ad-free on a Monday, and obviously Wednesday pod, which is ad-free as well. Exclusive special guest pod. So we've just done one with Sam Sheridan. That's there now to watch. He was a lovely lad. He spoke about himself, obviously his career, and some of the dark days and how he didn't get on with Ryan McKnight. And there's a story behind that as well. So get yourselves on there to watch that. I've got Rainsy and Bully coming into the County Arms soon, so that'll be for patrons as well. We'll be live from Pinatar. I say live, probably pre-recorded from Pinatar. And all of our fan guests, by the way, are all booked up till mid-August. So if you want to come on as a fan guest, let us know, and we'll get you in on a Wednesday of your choosing. Just before we carry on as well, I've got to mention some of the lads, Andy, Ian, Jimmy, and who else? Andy, Ian,
brother.
Jimmy. Oh, Jamie Redding. Sorry, Jamie. They're all walking from County to Blackpool on the day we play Blackpool away, 17th of August. So we'll pop a link here now for the fundraiser page. I don't know why I'd guessed it. I've got it written in front of me. Andy Redding, Ian Hiles, Jamie Redding, and Jimmy Harmer. It was the next line down. I didn't look at it. So they're doing that. Obviously that's for Mentel. That's an amazing effort to walk it. I mean, just think walking to Blackpool.
Setting off Friday morning, aren't they? And then walking all the way, and then getting there before kickoff on the Saturday. So, amazing. All for Mentel. So, good cause, and get behind the lads. Just sponsor them, whatever you can. Let's get them to the target.
Yeah. There was one done to Chesterfield a few years back, wasn't there?
Damon did that, didn't he? Yeah.
So, get behind that one, guys.
Damon will be on the show very soon. I am in contact with him. Okay, let's move on to the next bit, which is going to be Chester and other bits and bats. So I'm not really sure how much we can talk about this, but I wanted to bring it up because it's our first friendly of around 6, I want to say.
6 or 7.
I have got a graphic for that, actually. Might dig it out in a second. We can show. All about the graphics these days. So I guess I just wanted to bring it up. The tickets went on sale. I don't know how many we've sold. I'll be honest with you. I got mine pretty easily. It looked like we had 1 or 2 blocks. I don't know. It doesn't even. I don't know, Brockers. If you're usually on top of these things, what's going on?
I haven't looked because I'm not around this weekend. I'm away for the weekend, so I didn't even give it a cursory glance. I just went, not it. Move on. So sorry. Pass. Waggy.
I've not got a clue how many we sold, but I know that Russ booked some seats, and about 3 hours later, I went on and booked the seats next to him.
Tell you what, it's bad having stalkers, you know. It's really bad having stalkers. But I tell you what, let's cover this bit pretty quickly. Then I will share a graphic because I'm in a graphic sharing mood. So let me get rid of that banner. So we have got Chester on Saturday. This is the podcast sort of the calendar for July. So you can see we've got Chester away on Saturday, and then we've got Oldham away the following week. Then we're all off to Spain, to sunny Spain with our shorts. And
tickets have just gone on sale, haven't they, for the Oldham game? If anybody is interested.
Yes, they have. They went on sale today, I think.
Earlier today.
Yeah. Reasonably priced as well, I think. So Chester's, for me and my lad, it's cost me 15 quid, which I think is pretty good. I think it's the same for Latics as well for Oldham. So that's not too bad. Obviously, we're playing Derby away in Pinatar on the Friday morning at 11, and aren't Lincoln and Fleetwood or something playing in the evening, or Barnsley and Fleetwood or something daft like that?
Something like that, yeah.
They're playing on the same day. Did you know that, Brockers?
No. Do you expect me to watch that one as well?
No, I'm not expecting to watch that one.
I'm not good in the heat, Ross. I can't stay out that long.
Ian Dowden says these graphics look really good on the audio podcast. Well, that's why I'm talking everybody through it, Ian. Anna, come on, play the game. So yeah, Chester, Oldham, Derby on the 19th. Then we've got Barrow away on the 23rd, and then we've got Stoke at home on the 27th. And then obviously before the League Cup draw was made, we've got Blackburn at home on Friday the 2nd.
And then again
Has that ever happened before?
I'm not sure. We've got a game on the Saturday the 3rd as well, haven't we? Who are we playing on the 3rd?
Preston, is it?
Preston, yeah.
I think so, yeah. We are playing Friday and Saturday, aren't we? So,
for the benefit of the audio viewers, Russ hasn't put anything on the calendar for Saturday the 3rd, but there is a game.
Right, yeah. I didn't. That mustn't have been on the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Your listeners.
Anyway, so I'm just getting that in that Chester, obviously Saturday. That's when we'll start to see the players and see them for the first time. The 10 whatever new players we've got. Is it? Are we at 8 or are we at 10 now?
9.
Are we at 9? Okay.
9. In between. He was nearly
Bring up a graphic about it if you want, Waggy.
He'll have one for next week.
With room for a penetrator.
Yeah, I will. Don't start taking the mickey out of my graphics. I'll stop doing it if you do that. Stop doing them. Okay. Right. And I just wanted to cover what I'm going to call other stuff, which is basically some of the other stuff that's come out of the club recently. I'll start with let's start with the training kits. We kind of alluded to this at the start of the show. What do you think? My personal opinion is, and I'll go first, is they always look a lot lighter in colour on screens and on mobiles and stuff. When you actually get them in physically, they seem a lot darker. Like this T-shirt I've got on.
Yeah. But we had similar colours a few years ago. We had similar colour training kits. The academy have had those colour training kits. So I don't get it. I know some are upset about it. Some are upset about City players having their baby showers in our facilities. Some are upset about City having other dues. Take the money, and also let's not get too upset about a training kit. It's a training kit.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's the training
That's
kit.
That's my kit.
Yeah, I'm definitely agreeing with you there. It's the training kit, and nobody's seen it actually in the flesh as such, have they? So it can look a lot different, but it's not. It's a training kit. It's not as if we're going to be turning out on a Saturday afternoon at Edgeley Park in it, is it? No,
it's not. But it's not in the interest of balance. But if it gets too close to sky blue, then that's a problem for me. I've got to say that. It's because I know people. Some people care, some people don't. I think I'm just edging towards the yes, I care about that bit of it. So yeah. Some people have said it's a weird thing to get upset about. Not asked. but is it a City kit? So yeah. Anyway, let's put that one to bed.
There is definitely people that have got upset about it.
Yeah, and I think I'm on their side slightly. The thing about City doing the trophies in the ground, I think that's really. I'm not having that. I'm not having that at all. But anyway, we discussed that on a previous podcast. Well, that's why we have a podcast. It's for this kind of debate, so we've got balance. Everyone's got their own opinions, as we know. What about the perimeter boards? That's good news, isn't it?
Yeah. That shows progression. Whether or not we'll be able to see the players on like a Tuesday, middle of February, on a Tuesday night in February, when it's just like, we'll have what's it? We'll have planes trying to land.
So which bits of the perimeter are they going round? I mean, I presume they're going around advertising hoardings. Then do they go up to the the Porsche lounge or whatever, and
I
then
think so. Looking at the little video that they had, it's going to be the Porsche lounge, and then basically all the advertising hoardings.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be like LED strips where you know where they all go off somewhere. I think the Porsche lounge has its own, and then everywhere else has the perimeter. And is it a new scoreboard as well? By all accounts, I think it looked like it to me, but.
Well, obviously, it's got to be a bigger one. It's not big enough.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we'll have another scoreboard in a few years' time. So.
Yeah. We'll need another scoreboard. And it'll get moved into the corner, won't it? And, yeah.
They won't move it. They'll just buy a new one.
Yeah. What do you mean buy a new one? How? What do you mean?
Money's no object to us. We just, put that one in the bin, get another one. Don't bother moving it. Just
Start will be like a rock and roll star. Will go up with a big sledgehammer, put it through the old one, and knock it over the back of the railway end, and then we'll just get a new one in.
There was a bad pixel on it for about the last 18 months that has been upsetting people. So.
Yeah, Worsley. From Hatters Hangout, Worsley, mate. Just need some strobe lighting now, and we'll be a proper Stock County. Yes. I like it. No, but it's funny. It's weird, isn't it? Because I get excited about stuff like perimeter boards, because that's always since we've gone in the shit and gone down to National League North. That's always been look at all these clubs look at Blackpool with the shiny advertising boards and we're not allowed. We can't have that because we can't afford it. But now we can, and I just think it's another sign that we're back.
Would it mean the end of Park Potatoes, for example?
Well, yeah, I think it does, doesn't it? Unless Home Run Pizzas pay the money to have their thingy all the way around the pitch.
Yeah.
That'll be a shame, won't it? Actually, all these local businesses that have supported us over the years, are they just hopefully don't just get tossed out? That would be a bit unfair.
Flip to the inside, and we get to see them as supporters.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, that could be a thing. Good stuff. And then the other thing on there was something we probably don't know about, which is the kit release dates. I guess they're all going to have the photos taken this week, and then they'll be out. I mean, they're going to play in them on Saturday, are they? Probably. I don't know.
I'm sensing Friday. It sort of feels like Friday to go on sale Monday to play in them on Saturday.
Yeah.
That kind of feels about. Yeah.
They've all been back in training this week, haven't they? So they've been able to create a video, because they've done a video on it for the last few years where they've had some of the old kits in it and stuff like that as well. So a proper decent promo video that'll get produced with players in it and stuff. So yeah, possibly, hopefully Friday that we'll see an announcement of the video. They'll play in either home or away kit, whatever, on Saturday, and then release next week.
Yeah. And of course, people will have ITK of the kit. Has anyone in the know here about what the kit's? I mean, it's going to be blue, isn't it? But anything?
I reckon there's going to be 3 of them.
Yeah, Rockers, what do you say?
What shade of blue? That
Well, this is the big question.
They look like they were the same blue as Russ's Fred Perry shirt.
Yeah. It's a bad shirt, really, isn't it? It's light blue and it's got red on it. I mean, I don't know what I'm thinking about. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I don't know. So that was that other stuff. Finally, final word for tonight's show. England at the Euros. So we've managed somehow to get through to the quarterfinals to play Switzerland. Again, from my perspective, it was slow, sloppy. But now I'm starting to think it's so bad that it's probably just us, other teams defending against us, and we'll probably end up winning it all 1-0. Don't know.
Stumble our way through to a semi-final and go from there, isn't it? Bringing it, sort of linking it in with County, though, I did love that one of the images from first day of training was that slide about the front foot, aggressive, penetrating football, having witnessed that insipid shite on Sunday.
Yes, I picked up on that as well. Yeah,
I liked that. It was what I needed to see on Monday morning.
Yeah, and if you're a new player as well, and because there were plenty in that room, and you're seeing that, you're thinking, nice one. Yeah, we're going to go for it.
It's all nice, yeah. I mean, even the dartboard surround looks awesome.
It did, didn't it?
Yes. I thought, oh, that's a good dartboard surround, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think anybody's lived up to expectations of any of the team, apart from maybe Spain. I think Spain are looking like the best team so far. Germany, I mean, they've got results, but they've still been a bit hit and miss. France have not actually scored a goal from open play themselves, have they? They've had own goals and penalties. That's all they've scored. So, as you say, and everyone keeps saying we're on the favourable side of the draw. You still got to beat what's put in front of you. It's that old chestnut, isn't it? You've got to beat what's put in front of you. Yeah. And at some point, we've got to have a good performance.
Have we?
Well, we've got to, haven't we? We've got to. Well, we've got. I think the biggest thing is that we've got Guthrie out, isn't he? Or whatever he's called. He's suspended. Yeah, he's suspended. Gay. Yeah. So he's out. So we're gonna have to change it. We're gonna have to change something at the back. So whether or not that means a change of formation.
Rumours today that we were changing to 3 at the back.
Right.
And playing with wing backs. That was what had come out of today's training, apparently. With Walker, Stones, and a little bit Conser was about 3.
Right.
Probably trickier as a left wing back, keep coming back inside and playing backwards. So, won't fucking change it. But as people said, County are back on Saturday. So after lunchtime kickoff Saturday, by the way, people go to Chester. Make sure you check that.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't check that.
Yeah.
I didn't check that and tweeted it, but yeah, it's quite handy, really, isn't it? 1 o'clock kickoff, and then everyone can get back for the match, can't they? For the England match at 5. So quite handy. Quite handy indeed.
Exciting few days,
Yeah.
Something going on in the country tomorrow, isn't there? And
Yeah, we can't exactly. Release.
Get released Eve.
Good stuff.
Starting to get excited. Starting to get there.
Things to be excited about. Definitely things to be excited about. Right, I think that's a good place to end it. Please do like the show if you're watching live or back on YouTube. That does help us. And if you are listening to us on an audio podcast, please do like and review. That helps us out massively. But can I just encourage everybody to come over to Patreon? That's where it's happening. And we've got I forgot as well, monthly giveaway on Patreon as well, exclusively for patrons.
Yes, starting at the end of this month.
Starting at the last Wednesday of this month. So that'll be something to look forward to. Rockers, cheers, mate. I think the next time I see you, we will be in Spain.
We might be in another country, mate.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Shouldn't officially say this as I'm taking my son out of school, should I? But, never mind. It's out there now. If any of his teachers watch this, I do apologise in advance. Unfortunately, he's ill.
There's nothing better than booking you sick in.
Good stuff. Waggy, cheers. As always, I'll see you Saturday, Waggy.
I'll see you Saturday, Russ.
You will. Yeah. And cheers to everybody for watching and listening. And we will see you next week. See you later.
Cheers.
See you later.
Thank you.
One morning we went to Torquay. We wanted a drink, so we got there early. And who should be waiting as we got off the bus? Some brave Yorkshire bastards throwing boulders at us. It took us a minute to counter-attack. We